Last time on Vortex Reviews.
Honey, I'm home. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I'm not married.
Hey Axel, did you watch the new Star Wars movie yet? Did you hear that they're making a Han Solo spin-off movie? Hey bro, did you hear that they announced that they're gonna do an entirely new trilogy after the current one is finished? It's gonna be fucking lit, bro. Hell yeah! Star Wars, 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 Star Wars.
Oh, hi there, mysterious figure in the dark who is totally not a copyrighted character by Disney and Lucasfilm Unlimited.
God damn it! I represent the fanboys. You upset a lot of people. I'm gonna kill you.
I don't think you grasp the situation. I want to die.
Well, this wouldn't be as fun. Wait, I have an idea. Here, take my spare. Isn't this fucking awesome?
I know, it's almost like it's been planned out ahead of time and carefully choreographed.
Fuck you, man!
So, Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Where to begin? I guess I could say that I don't outright hate this movie. It got a lot of things right. But of course, for every step forward, they always seem to take 2 steps backwards. I wrote down several notes after watching the movie, and I'm going to go through these now. Obviously, I won't be able to touch on everything, but this is to give you an easy picture, otherwise we would be here all night talking. Spoilers ahead, of course. Let's begin. First of all, the humor. Oh my god, the humor. I'm sorry, did I walk into the wrong viewing? Is this the latest MCU movie? But wait, it says Star Wars on the screen. That can't be right. This is of course Disney trying to widen the appeal of the movie, and the movie suffers so much from it. The humor seemed to constantly fuck up a scene that could be really cool. Let me give you an example. Can you imagine while Luke was training with the lightsaber aboard the Millennium Falcon, and we learn about the Force in a natural way? Since Luke is a beginner, he is asking questions which Obi-Wan answers. The audience is learning together with Luke.
Remember, a Jedi can feel the Force flowing through him.
You mean it controls your actions?
Partially, but it also obeys your commands.
Now take that scene and shove it through the Disney stretcher machine, whatever you want to call it, and you would have something like this.
You mean it controls your actions?
It's a power that the Jedi have that lets them control people and make things float. You have the setup for a really emotional moment here, an opportunity to salvage this new trilogy and explore new things while at the same time keeping the core of Star Wars intact. Yet, you sacrifice all those moments in the film for corny jokes that completely kill the mood. Good fucking job.
Hi, I'm holding for General Hux.
This is Hux. You and your friends are doomed. We will wipe your filth from the galaxy.
Okay, I'll hold. Hello? Yep, still here.
Can he hear me? Can.
With an H, skinny guy, kind of pasty.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Look, I can't hold forever.
Now, Snoke dying was cool, but badly done. I saw a Reddit post talking about Snoke's character and saying that he wasn't worse than Palpatine was in the original trilogy. And to that I say, that's where you're wrong, kiddo. The confrontation with Palpatine at the end of Return of the Jedi has a strong tension in the air. The plan is to turn Luke to the dark side. Will he manage to save his father, or shall he fall for the temptation? We can see the strength in Luke's character as he must resist the temptation. We got to see a glimpse of how powerful the dark side makes you. Luke realizes that he's losing himself as a price for his victory. Only then does he resist, and that is what makes him a Jedi. The whole scene is full of emotions that carry the story forward, such as temptation, anger, sacrifice, reluctance, revelation, and sacrifice, which in turn creates good drama. Snoke, on the other hand, wanted Ren to kill Rey in order to test him. Then, Ren pulls a fast one and kills Snoke. If he is actually dead, that belongs to another debate. But anyway, the excitement is far from as heavy as in Return of the Jedi. Luke, Vader, and Palpatine play off each other naturally, while Ren, Rey, and Snoke do not share the scene as well. The point is that Palpatine is not as addicted to all the build-up. He's not required to have the build-up as Snoke is. Show don't tell, as they say. Sure, Palpatine was built up as a powerful individual as he walks down the Lambda shuttle in Return of the Jedi, whereupon Vader, whom we have previously seen everyone in the Empire is fucking afraid of, he bows to this guy. And that shows that Palpatine is really fucking powerful. In Snoke's case, it's a lot of tell, but with no real payoff. I blame all those cringy Snoke theories for this one. The fanbase have a greater need to know things these days. And, unfortunately, the movie suffers from that. Phasma, getting screwed over again. Phasma was the marketing team's little angel, both in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. She wasn't heavily featured, but she had a mystery to her. She was cool. She's a stormtrooper in chrome armor and a cloak. Fuck yeah. So she was definitely interesting. People wanted to see what she was going to do. A completely new character with an awesome look and potential pure badassery? Sure, fucking sign me up, Slick. Well, in The Force Awakens, she got screwed over since she didn't do anything. A huge missed opportunity would have been to replace FN-2199, also known as Traitor, with Phasma. It fits her character perfectly and would have been so much more memorable. Instead, she has approximately 1 minute of total screen time in The Force Awakens. What the fuck? Now, if we were able to replace TR-8R with Phasma, it would add almost a minute to her total screen time, and that is almost twice her screen time, for such a small change. Why would you grant a random stormtrooper that much attention at the expense of a character with cool potential? Well, all that plays into The Last Jedi. After The Force Awakens' failure to turn Phasma into a cool character, her cool factor was significantly reduced. Her comic appearances as well as the Phasma novel does a good job at recovering her character. Now, here we have a nice setup to do something awesome with her character. And she's dead. Really, guys? Really? Not sure how much screen time she had in this new movie, but trust me, it was not very much. She captures Finn and Rose, goes to have them executed, explosion erupts, she and Finn duke it out, similar to how Finn fought TR-8R, thus emphasizing my previous point, that they wasted her in that scene. Then she falls into a pit of flame and dies. She was deader than dead. But of course, they can bring her back again in some bullshit way after they realize, oh fuck, we shouldn't have done that, guys, better bring her back. In the end, she was so hyped up with next to no payoff. Wasted fucking potential. Admiral Akbar. They fucking dared to kill him off screen. Then just right after, they introduced this new bitch called Admiral Holdo. Her purpose in the movie was not great, but I won't bitch about that. Her last scene is her turning the Rados-Mon Calamari cruiser around and fucking rams the entire First Order fleet in lightspeed. That's fucking radical. Convenient, but radical nonetheless. Now, why the fuck didn't you give that job to Akbar? It's the perfect ending for him to go down with his ship, sacrificing himself for the cause and all that. You could have eliminated Holdo's character entirely and just have Akbar do everything she did. It would not have been top-notch, but it would at least be 10 times better than what we got. Could you imagine how awesome it would have been to have Akbar just start up his engine, preparing to ram the First Order fleet, and Hux goes like, "It's a trap!" And then, yeah. And don't even get me started on General Hux. His character was completely butchered. He is now fucking comic relief. Even more bad decisions from the higher-ups. So if I understood this right, Leia is a Kryptonian. She gets jettisoned into space, where she fucking dies. She is so fucking dead. And I thought, yeah, this is where she goes. Carrie Fisher passed away, and something has to be done about this in the movies. Okay, I'm willing to let this go. Then she starts to raise her hand and starts to float back to the ship. This was completely out of fucking nowhere and took me out of the movie. Again, I could go on about this for 10 minutes straight, but you could have done it so much better, guys. This was so fucking random that I can't even wrap my head around it. There is no sensible way to discuss this point without just prattling on. So, why? Just why? Now, here comes a point I want to discuss regarding the mythos. We have all heard the saying, show don't tell. Well, in this very particular case, I guess you could say the opposite. I will try to explain what I mean. In the scene where Luke is training Rey and she starts to tap into the Force and we get to see glimpses of what she sees, for example, the Dark Nexus under the Ahch-To Island is represented as a dark, rotten-like hole in the ground, you know? Almost Stephen King, Stranger Thing-ish looking thing. To me, this seems like the movie holds the viewer's hand way too much. Trust me, I don't mind the thing itself. It's just that they show it to us visually in that scene. Instead of having the 30-minute long codebreaker subplot, wouldn't it have been awesome to see a parallel to Rey's training with Luke, to have that parallel with Kylo's training with Snoke, letting us see the teachings of the dark side as well as the light, thus setting up for the let go of the past thing they talk so much about. This could have worked so cool together with the Ren/Rey Force connection. Yeah. And finally, I would like to point out some of the things I enjoyed in the movie. Believe it or not, there are good things in it. For example, Yoda, he appears in it. Fuck yeah, that's cool. It was a little bit goofy at first, but then it sort of warmed up to me. He had a lot of nice things to say, such as failure is the greatest teacher of all, which sort of reflects Luke going to Bespin to fight Vader in Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed it. And another awesome thing, when Luke walked across the salt plains on Crate, he didn't kick up the salt, since he wasn't there really. He was just force projecting himself. This is emphasized by the small little by the rebel soldier who, like, he gets into the trench and then he like strokes the ground and like licks it like, it's salt. And everywhere there is explosions, the salt gets kicked up. You see like poofs of red all over. When Luke walks, he does not disturb the ground, and that's a little cool detail. I like that. A really funny scene is when they shoot Phasma in the chest with a blaster pistol, and because of her special chrome treatment from the Nubian, the Nubian alloy, it just bounces right off, and that was like one of the few scenes that actually got a laugh out of me. What is obvious in this movie is the corporate finger poking around. It is clear that they change element in the film to reach a broader audience, because a broader audience means more money in the bag, am I right? So, I did not outright hate the movie, absolutely, but I am really fucking disappointed. This, as I mentioned, I've said this several times, both in Marvel's circumstance and now Star Wars. This is a bandwagon. Everything is gonna feel the same after a while. I don't know. Disney is fucking us over, and we can't do anything about it. I continue to stretch my point that when we are fucking old men in our mid-80s with canes and fucking wheelchairs, we're gonna be sitting there watching Star Wars episode 206 and be like, remember when this shit was cool? Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. If you stuck through it this long, I applaud you. Please, if you have any discussions you want to add into the comments, I would welcome them. I love discussing movies with you guys. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Have a happy Christmas and a happy New Year. Vortex out.